Electioneering school administrators have admitted they're guilty. It's August 15th, 2024, and these are your headlines. A husband and wife pair of administrators in Denton ISD have admitted they are guilty of criminal electioneering after urging their staff to vote for anti-school choice candidates back in the Republican primary this year. Jesus and Lindsay Lujan won't face any criminal penalties, though, or even see the inside of a courtroom if they follow a pretrial diversion program their attorney negotiated with prosecutors. After multiple delays, Lindsay Lujan was scheduled to appear in court Wednesday morning for a plea hearing, but instead she and Jesus are now set for pretrial diversion. That means the defendants avoid a public guilty plea and can have their records of the crimes wiped clean. And before entering the program, offenders must admit their guilt to prosecutors, and they might have to comply with other conditions as set by the district attorney. Lindsay Lujan was recently promoted from principal of Alexander Elementary to director of special services for the district. Jesus is the head of a school at Borman Elementary. Both Lujans urged staff at their schools to vote in the March Republican primary for candidates who oppose school choice. They sent political messages through the taxpayer-funded email system in the district. A grand jury indicted the Lujans after local voters submitted complaints to Denton County District Attorney Paul Johnson, accusing the school administrators of engaging in criminal election interference. The two were charged in April with unlawful use of an internal mail system for political advertising, which is a Class A misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail and a $4,000 fine. On Tuesday, the Lujans' lawyer told a local news outlet that both his clients would be placed in pretrial diversion. There would be neither a judge nor a conviction. The cases against the Lujans marks the first time Texas school officials have been criminally prosecuted for using district resources to illegally electioneer. Ranchers in the Fort Worth area are pursuing a lawsuit against a prominent waste recycling company for creating fertilizers that contain harmful cancer-causing chemicals. According to their complaint, the problems began when Fort Worth switched its contractor for biosolids. What's a biosolid? Those are repurposed waste materials used in fertilizer, from Renda Environmental to Synagro back in February of 2020. Synagro officially assumed control of the city and the surrounding area's current biosolids management facility in April of that year and began construction on a new facility, which was completed in December of 2022. That same year, Synagro assumed control of the existing facility. It was reported that residents in rural areas began complaining of, quote, horrendous odors originating from the sewage sludge. Yes, that's what biosolids are. That's another name for biosolids, sewage. And roughly 2 years later, Johnson County began investigating the biosolids as a potential cause of poisoning in humans and animals in the area. Several incidents initiated the suspicion, including a resident having trouble breathing around smoking biosolid fertilizer, fish dying in a pond after the fertilizer was applied, and a stillborn calf. To determine the culprit of the fertilizer poisonings, Johnson County investigators submitted the calf and several other fertilizer samples to lab testing. The results were jarring. The biosolid fertilizers, manufactured by Synagro, contained per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, synthetic compounds commonly known as PFAs, in abundant rates, detrimental to human health. Now, PFAs are colloquially grouped with similar compounds called forever chemicals, called that because of their tendency not to break down once introduced into the environment for an extended period. In higher than normal concentrations, they are known to cause various cancers, fertility issues, and respiratory problems. Current Environmental Protection Agency standards put the acceptable amount of PFAs in drinking water at 4 parts per trillion. The rate that they were present in the samples tested was considerably higher. A spokesperson for Synagro says the company denied the lawsuit's allegations of high levels of PFAs chemicals in their fertilizer, claiming their product meets EPA and Texas Commission on Environmental Quality standards.
Are you worried about your kid's future? You should be. I'm Charles Blaine with Texas Tomorrow. This is a show where we're going to talk about the issues and the people that are pushing the policies that concern your family, your home, and your kids. Catch Texas Tomorrow every Thursday.
In an effort to increase transparency, Tarrant County has adopted new election software that will allow voters to view ballots and other election data. During the last legislative session, Texas lawmakers passed a measure that requires counties to make some election documents available to the public, including images of ballots and records of votes cast. Tarrant County will use a software called Ballot Verifier, run by Severa, which allows voters to compare records side by side to ensure that electronic and physical ballots match. During a demonstration, Tarrant County Election Administrator Clint Ludwig said the new software will help voters analyze large amounts of election data. Tarrant County is the latest to adopt the software. Tarrant County currently only has election data from the March 2024 primaries available for review. However, Ludwig says the county's aiming to upload ballot images and other election information just weeks after each election. Ludwig also addressed concerns about anonymity, explaining that voters in precincts that see fewer ballots will have their names redacted in public voter records. Additionally, election workers will go through each ballot image to redact any other identifying information before sending it to Ballot Verifier. Severa's CEO Adam Freeman said that other Texas counties have shown interest in the software, including Denton County, already under contract, and Dallas. For more of today's stories, go to texasscorecard.com.